So just a quick little video, short one. I was just playing with this. This is the mule I was making for Cliff, which is out of 304 food grade stainless, which is not heat treatable. It's very soft. I could literally just take this and bend it if I wanted to. I mean, it's just as rigid as any knife of this thickness, but it's not going to flex and spring back like a heat treated blade. It's going to bend and stay bent. And so the edge is very weak for its thickness compared to a heat treated blade. It doesn't have the strength that heat treating would get. But that aside, I thought I wanted to try some experimenting with it before I sent it to Cliff out of curiosity. And now, nothing minor. He's going to do huge testing. I was just doing very basic testing on the cutting. And one of the things I found was I was having great trouble getting the edge of this shaving sharp, at the microscopic level. When you're looking at it at under 400x, I'd always have this reflecting light when I was sharpening it. And just out of curiosity, I decided to strop it quite firmly at a very elevated level so that it was really trying to round the edge. So, normally I'd strop a knife at that angle. I was stropping up, see if you can see that angle, very high. That's over 45 degrees. Probably about 45 degrees, maybe 40. So quite a high angle, putting a lot of pressure in. And what I found was, interestingly, I was trying to round the edge and see what would happen. That actually finally managed to get me a clean line that could pop the hairs off my hand. So it cuts very cleanly. It's quite nice. And I also was wondering whether or not the edge would roll or bend under cutting. Now, this is not a hardwood. This is a dowel of pine. It's fairly soft, I'd imagine, but although you can't see the close-up cutting, I just wanted to show you that geometry on a knife is quite important. And this is a knife that has not been heat treated at all. And I'm cutting completely in the same area here. I've got lots of cleaning to do in a moment. This is hurting my finger because I haven't rounded the spine. It's actually quite sharp. So I'm just going to switch to just drawing it through like that. That's enough mess. But still perfectly cutting. So, do nice quick cuts. This is just printer paper. Now, what'll be interesting is I'll quickly look under the microscope and just show what that edge looks like in a moment and concatenate it to this video with YouTube. So I'll show you what the edge looked like here, where I've just been cutting, and here where I hadn't been cutting, both of which portions had been heavily and fairly forcefully stropped on this at a high angle. But I'm quite impressed, actually. It did quite well. Okay, so just going to look at the two portions of the edge. Right now I'm up, this is near the belly, and we're at 400x. If I just give you the perspective, this is at about, let me just check, yeah, that's like 30 or 40x. So when we zoom right up, We're just looking at that tiny little shiny bit there, the apex. So let's get back to it. So this was a fairly well stropped portion that we didn't do that cutting on. And you can see the sort of the hard stropping has definitely buffed and polished that edge, because it's such soft steel. It's very easy to work the steel with the compounds. So yeah, I think you can actually see that it's been rounded by the forceful stropping. And the apex on there is very narrow and clean. Now I'm going to slowly slide up into the range of where the wood cutting was happening. So now we're just starting to get to the point where the wood cutting was occurring. And sliding it through. This would be the main area where the cutting was happening. And you can see the flecks of paper from the paper cutting. So the edge handled that just fine. No denting or deformation, and this appears to be, because I did get some deformation before, the heavy overstropping strengthened up that edge and refined it to a point where it was working a lot better than just off the diamond stone for this steel. Very clean edge.